Morning guys, Moon here. Today we are talking about Wingrave, the supportive super tank. And I play mostly solo, but I did want to create a build for Wingrave that also is quite supportive and can be played in a group very well. This character for Wingraves, or this build for Wingraves, also is a good fit for playing on the highest difficulties because it can tank most of the content and just be a bastion in, well, the gloom. So let's take a look of the entire build first. So Wingrave is a War Master. I did play him here as a tank, as a healer. He has a very strong survivability. He heals himself a lot, he heals allies around him a lot, has a very chunky HP pool, and is nearly unbreakable due to constant resilience regeneration. Though he does deal quite low damage compared to damage focused builds, but I guess that's the trade-off you're doing when you are playing a very tanky build. So let's take a look at the first weapon I was using for most of my playthrough. So Bastion is the single best defensive shield in the game. The stats are incredibly strong. Like, we have 2.6k physical and magical defense, we have 1k health, and then we have balanced ability power, weapon power, and break damage. So this is an extremely well thought out all-rounder that does also have healing pulse as its weapon ability, which heals allies around you and yourself. Then we have the Unity. Unity was my second shield I played around with. It is one of the new shields of the 1.0 patch. It is a very tanky shield also, but the damage ability or the weapon ability is focused more around damage and break damage, which makes it like a little bit more aggressive compared to the full defensive approach of the Bastion. Then let's talk about the abilities. Healing Pulse, the first ability, heals yourself and allies around you whenever you are doing a combo finisher or an eagle eye shot, which for the combo finisher is the shield slam most of the time, which I will explain later on in the combo section. Then Righteous Strike is your first ability, which is reset by using an what's called combo finisher, and you can use Righteous Strike to mostly deal damage all the time and also generate healing and give a damage reduction to yourself. Radiant Pulse is a big shield that blocks projectiles and shoots out waves that deal damage. Judgment taunts enemies around you, and when you're hitting a judged enemies or when allies are hitting a judged enemies, they receive a heal, and the break damage against judged enemies is increased. Then we have Divine Aegis, which is a huge ass bubble around you or around an area where you created that makes everybody inside immune to all types of damage. Well, very strong. So let's take a look at the playstyle. Generally, you want to use your quick light heavy combo in combination with Righteous Strike to clear enemies. This is your bread and butter of the build. Pretty much the combo you are using all the time. One light hit, one heavy hit, Righteous Strike, repeat. Then use your other abilities whenever they are off cooldown, and your ultimate to finish off bosses or to save party members that are, well, down, or just you see, well, they are fairly low on health, though that should rarely happen, if at all. Then let's talk about the combo in specific, because this combo is very important and is one of the most difficult combos in the game to execute consistently, because it is part of a 5-button combo, which is the light attack into the heavy attack. You will have to hold down the heavy attack until your shield hits the ground. Then you want to block cancel. You don't have to do this block cancel. It is faster, but it makes the combo a lot more difficult to go with 2 block cancels. Then after the block cancel, or when the heavy attack is through, you want to use Righteous Strike, which you block cancel again as soon as the damage is through, and then you want to repeat with a light attack. This is extremely fast compared to using the combo without block canceling, but it is, as I said, one of the harder combos to consistently get right in more hectic fights. Then let's take a short look at the armor set. Generally, you just want to pick whatever you have that makes you tanky, right? So always go for max health. Max health is your most important stat. Then you want just generally mag defense, physical defense, resilience. All of these are very good. And then you can slot in some ability power or weapon power when you have no better choices. For accessories, I did go with the Nightfall Servant set, but there's a lot of good sets. This is magical defense, physical defense, and resilience, though the best pieces would be magical defense, physical defense, and health. But generally, all defensive focused options are very good, but you want a lot of physical defense and a lot of magical defense, so that you generally take pretty low damage, and then you want a lot of health because your healing is health based. So, well, there's a lot of good sets, but generally just pick one you have around and then later on see what you want to farm for. For the echoes or attack, we don't really use a lot of attack slots, but generally I wanted to push ability power a bit further because we're using a lot of abilities constantly, so just to dish out some more damage, ability power is your best. For the balance echoes, again, ability power, magical defense, health, physical defense, all in that direction. For defense, resilience, physical defense, magical defense, health, everything is possible. I wanted to go with a lot of health here just to get higher healing done, but generally just pick the best defense echoes you have around and you'll have a good time. Then for the rush echoes, we have some options. I do use Dread Legion because the ability power boost is nice if I want to be a bit more damage oriented. Renegade, Thorn of Storms, and Teresa all are good damage options. Actually, Storm of Thorns is not correct here. I don't know why it's there. Not that one. But generally, ability focused echoes are pretty good. There is no great healing echoes. I mean there is some, but generally they are not as good. You can also use like an Equilibrium or other damage focused rush echoes, but generally here pick one with a high power rating that has a good effect in it. Then for affinities, we go 25 instinct, 16 discipline for healing wave, healing favor, which increase your healing and also add a health based heal to your healing pulse. Also you want improved healing pulse, which lets you send out an additional healing pulse, and then you get Crusader's Blessing, which makes it so that your healing pulse replenishes resilience, and then you want Crusader's Finesse, so that healing pulse lowers ability cooldowns by 1 second. Like the combination of all of these just push your healing pulse value through the roof, which makes the fast combo for the shield slam even more important, because with every single shield slam you're getting 2 healing pulses off, which take 2 seconds off your cooldowns and reset your Righteous Strike cooldown completely. So you're seeing where we're getting here. Then for the talents, there is not all that many great perks, so we just go with Rallying Cry. To whenever we use an ability, we are gaining a heal. Also, we're using Fortifying Aura, that when we use our ultimate, we push out a stat boost to our Wayfinders. This is fairly irrelevant, but we're traveling there, so why not pick it up? And then we are using Immovable. This makes it impossible for enemies to interrupt us, though you can still be knocked back. This is decent and helpful, but not. So we finish off with just picking another guard and 1 balance echo slot to just get our stats up there. This is pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. If you have questions about the build, feel free to drop them in the comments. Like, subscribe as always, and see you on the next one.